What's going on, everybody? It's Carlos here from PremierReviewer, and I wanted to give back to you guys. For the last about 2 years, I've been dabbling in Photoshop a lot lately, and one of the things that I've learned and was able to teach myself is how to make banners on YouTube. So I made it for a few friends and other people who I admire their work and wanted to update their YouTube banner, and I started getting pretty good. So this is not for the beginner, but this is someone who knows how to use Photoshop already. So let's open up Photoshop and I'll show you what I made just yesterday and how you can make it. Now, this is not going to be a step-by-step on how to make this exact one, but what I'm trying to show you is the techniques that it would take for you to be able to make a YouTube banner yourself. I'm going to leave links to where you can download the actual banner template, but everything else is just, you grab images from Google and go from there. So let's switch this up right now. Okay, so as you see, we have Photoshop right here, and this is the banner I came up with. Now, am I gonna make a gaming channel? Who the hell knows? But if I do, I already have this actual template for myself. So this is just what I came up with. If you're a gaming channel, this is one way to do it. If you're not, again, you don't have to go and make the exact YouTube banner, but it's one way that I thought that most people who really like making banners seem to be gamers, so I kind of catered this custom look to that. And who knows, maybe I'll make another channel and it's gaming. So as you see, I have Premiere Gaming right there, and I think it came out pretty cool. But how did we get here? So if we look over here, these are all the layers that I came up with, right? But obviously I'm pretty much gonna just delete all these. One of the main things you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to add these. Okay, so how do you add these? Let me put these into this folder right here. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like for anyone who gets the template. So this is like, you can make any kind of square, rectangle, whatever you want to call it. So just gonna delete that, and now you can also make this whatever color you want. I'm gonna use default white, but we're gonna stay in between these lines, right? So that's the goal, is to get in between those lines, and there. So we have our first one. Let me bump it up a little bit, and that looks good right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this, bring it up, and then take the second one and I'm gonna bring it right there as well. So the reason why you do this is because when you get some photos of any kind of picture, you're gonna want to have the area look clean, and the way it looks clean is by adding these two kind of borders. So let's start off with the first picture. Now that's too big, right? Of course it is, but look what happens if I take this file, okay, and I bring this down here. Oh, now it looks pretty good, right? So we could kind of leave it like that if we wanted to, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna get this and we're gonna shrink it to size. So use Shift and hold it down so that you can resize it the right way, and then we'll bring that down here. We're gonna use Shift again, and we're gonna bring this to about this area right here. Okay, so now I want to duplicate this layer, so I'm coming down. After I hit enter, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna duplicate the layer. Okay, now I'm gonna take this layer and I'm gonna move it to this side, but you're like, wait, that looks kind of funky, that doesn't look really right. So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna go into edit, I'm gonna go into transform, and from transform we're going to go flip horizontal. So now we have that there, and take a look, it looks pretty cool, but we gotta erase this line. So we're gonna go to our eraser tool right here, and we're gonna click on the file we want, which is this one, and these two are overlapped, as you see. So we're gonna use that to our advantage. So I want to make a quick adjustment. Perfect. Okay, so go back to this eraser tool. You know, you can select it to whatever height you want. Make sure you click on the top. It has to be the top one right here. Okay, so we can start erasing it. So you can go with 100%, and then you can see it already looks good. But then I'm gonna feather this out, and then that's it. So that looks pretty good, right? But that's not what we had as our finished product. So the next step for me would be, now this is how it would look if I didn't have that there. But now you could see it looks good that way. I could leave it these colors, but it just doesn't feel right to me. So I downloaded some different textures and colors. So one of the first colors I want to add, I'm going to throw in this right here. Again, all this stuff you can download on Google Images and just pick what looks best. But now you're saying, man, that looks cool, but it's kind of completely taking over the image. Well, that's fine as long as it's clicked here. Okay, let's go down to where it says normal and let's go to screen. So now look what it does. So now it gives it that funky, colorful look, and yet we have a cool style. Again, so if we're going for a gaming theme, this already is starting to pop out. So anyone who comes across your page, you're gonna be like, wow, this looks amazing. Okay, so we have that done, but it just doesn't feel complete, right? So one of the things I might want to do is just take some of the intensity down. Okay, so let's go to, I'm gonna go to like 50. So we'll go to about 50% on that. And then I have some controllers. So let's bring the controller, hold shift, and let's resize it. So I want to put this controller like here, and then I want to twist it like it's kind of going up, and we'll just enlarge it, right? But look how it looks crazy. Doesn't really fit the actual, that's because this layer right here is above the other two layers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this down, and I'm gonna go right, and I'm gonna put that right there. So I like the way that looks right there. And I have another image I'm bringing in, and it's gonna be the same thing. Shift, bring it down. But look, that looks crazy because there's a white background. That's fine because the file I downloaded, you know, I can easily take that out. I'm gonna place that, and then I'm gonna go to Magic Eraser Tool, and it's gonna be just like a quick, and there you go. Now you can see the whole background. So go back to this tool right here, which is like your pointer. Okay, and then you can make adjustments. Now that looks a little funky to me, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Show Transform Control, and I'm gonna add Shift, enlarge it, right? But now I'm gonna put a tilt on this one, so we have that same kind of effect. Or I can make it look the other way. It just really depends on what you want to do. But for me, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna extend it, and I'll bring it, and I'll put it like right here, and I'm liking the way that looks. But this is really overpowering the whole thing, right? So the next step, what I'll do from there is actually add another layer to this. So the next layer I would add would be I'm gonna use like a concrete layer. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Shift, expand that. So now we have this, and it's the same, it's gonna be the same steps. So I'm gonna hit where normal is over here. I'm gonna go to screen, and oh wait, that's way too overpowering, right? That's fine, we can feather that down. So now you have some texture right here. If I wanted to add even a little bit more splash of color, I can do one of these. I can put this over here, and it'll be the same thing. Just be another layer. So even more, right? And if I don't like the way that looks, I can easily I can easily put that beneath the concrete, right? If I want the actual image to stand out more. So I could do that. That looks pretty neat, right? So let's duplicate that. And now bring that other image over here, right? And now we really don't have to do too much to that one, except for we might want to bring that where the controller's still above. I think at this point, look, we're doing some great progress. This thing is coming out really good, but it just feels a little bit incomplete, right? Okay, that's fine. We still don't have the logo or name or anything else like that. Now, do we have to make exactly how I had it prior? No, we don't. We can make our own. You can clean this up if you wanted to, but for right now, let's just keep on going because I think we're in the right direction, right? So, what else might I want to do? Well, at this point, I can use this tool again, right? And then I can come back. Oh, everything's white. No, it's okay. We can go up here to fill and add a color. So let's see what happens if I added like a blue. Well, it looks pretty cool, right? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this right underneath. Well, I think it's fine right there. But again, it's adding that effect where it's blended into the screen. So I can make it pop with something like this, right? Where I can change the intensity. So if I wanted to add more blue, but hey, that's up to you. For right now, I'm actually going to make this layer disappear because what I want to do is add some cool effects. Because if this is a PlayStation controller, let's make this PlayStation controller pop a little bit, right? So we'll go into this and then we'll go into the blue, and now we added that like drop shadow, but I don't really like the way that drop shadow looks. So what I'm gonna do, this what stinks is you can't see this, but I'm gonna change the drop shadow colors, and we're gonna make it look a lot better. All right, so we're back, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a copy of this to make it more vibrant. There you go. But now we got to do the same thing for the Xbox, right? So let's make a copy, bring it there. We made a copy. You always want to go underneath when it comes to these things. So obviously Xbox is green, so I like that intensity actually, and we're just gonna make that stand out more. And you guys see it looks awesome already, right? So what happens with this rectangle, right? So let's activate this rectangle. But look what happens if I add one of these gradients right here. It pops, it makes everything stand out a little bit more, right? But the cool thing about this is I can add this to the top or bottom, doesn't matter, so that even these look like they stand out more. So it's really preference up to you. But for me, I think it looked really good right where it was. So I'm just gonna keep that right there, and then it's bringing out some of the other colors. Actually, you know what? I want to keep this right there. Perfect. The next step, what I would do is now we're gonna go back to this tool over here, okay? And then we're gonna add. Actually, let's do this. Let's add Premiere Gaming. This is the font I want to use. All right, so I'll center it and then we'll resize it. The same thing, it's gonna be resize. You hold down Shift and there we go. Perfect. So look for that center point. And I'm going to put that right there. And where is this at? So let's put this layer to the top so it stands out more. All right, so let's put this layer right here. And now you see it pops out more because it wasn't hidden behind some of those other layers. Okay, so this looks good. we're gonna make a copy of that, because now what I'm gonna do is I'll take this, I would drop this down, and then we'll change this to gaming. Okay, so let's do that. Let's change this to gaming. And I like the way that looks. Boom, that is looking really good. Now, and then we're gonna make a nice drop shadow on the rest. And look how that stands out. Looks, oh, love it, love it. That looks pretty cool, right? We could leave it like that, or like this. This looks pretty cool. This is more what I had prior. So again, it's really up to you on seeing how you want to use this and utilize it. And that's it, really. So it's neat when you can create something like that. I don't want to talk anymore because this video is really probably getting longer than I want it to be, but that's how easy it is. Let me rephrase that. It's not that it's easy, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes and the more creative you become on doing this. So this is what I came up with. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you like this video, make sure you please leave a thumbs up. And if you want to know what I'm using to capture this, I'm using OBS, and I have my cam link hooked up to my Sony a6300, and I'm using the Stream Deck to switch between the scenes, which it just works out really good. I'm loving it so far. So guys, I'm so happy I was able to bring this to you. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and please, if you go and this helped you out, tag me on Twitter. Okay, show me what you came up with. I would love to see that and check it out, because I know that you're going to be able to create something awesome. This takes time, and the more practice you do, the more fun you'll have, and the better you get at it. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Like I always say, until next time, I will see you around.